On this episode of The Word Made Fresh, we're going to the top of the bell tower at the Riverside Church. Here we go. Keat, this is The Word Made Fresh, the weekly video. Are they done? Wow, okay. Hi, Reverend Jim Keat, Word Made Fresh, Bible study video thing. We talk about upcoming lectionary passages. Wow. This is the Riverside Bell Tower, which, by the way, is open for tours, so you can go to trcnyc.org/tours to find out more and buy your tickets. It's amazing. We're gonna go higher in a second, but yeah, we're going to look at an upcoming lectionary passage in the bell tower. Now, this coming Sunday, the gospel passage is from Matthew. We're still in Matthew. The lectionary tends to do that. It kind of sticks with a book for a long time and just lets you kind of see the next part of the story previously on lectionary. And so we're up to Matthew 5:13-20. You might remember last week was the Sermon on the Mount, the Beatitudes. That was a great video. Beatitudes, beatitude meaning blessed. So that's where we get all the blessed are the this, that, and the other thing. I mean, I'm a little biased, I guess. And this week we're still in the Sermon on the Mount. It was more than just the Beatitudes. It's like the entire chapter of Matthew 5 and 6. Don't quiz me on that one. Okay, so the lectionary passage is Matthew 5:13-20. I just want us to focus on verses 13 to 16. It's all great, but we're just gonna pinch it down a little bit. Here's what it says. This is Jesus talking, by the way, Sermon on the Mount, basically the thing he said after the Beatitudes. You are the salt of the earth, but if salt has lost its taste, how can its saltiness be restored? It is no longer good for anything, but is thrown out and trampled underfoot. You are the light of the world. A city built on a hill cannot be hid. No one, after lighting a lamp, puts it under the bushel basket, but on the lampstand, and it gives light to all the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to God in heaven. So we're gonna look specifically at these two metaphors Jesus offers of salt and light, and we're gonna do it up a little higher. Oh, I should tell you, this one right here, that's the burden bell, which is like the name for the biggest bell on a carillon, which is like a bunch of bells. And this particular burden bell is unique because it's the largest tuned bell in the world. Right there. Dong. Okay, now time to go up higher. So, salt of the earth, light of the world, those are the two metaphors Jesus uses here in this portion of the Sermon on the Mount, and let's just chat about them briefly, and then you can comment about them as long as you'd like. I think there's probably a character limit on your comments, but I dare one of you to find out what it is. Salt of the earth. Now, there's a very obvious metaphor here, which is flavor, which Jesus even references, how salt gives things flavor. Yeah, don't take too much, high sodium diet, not too good for your blood pressure, but Jesus maybe didn't know all of those details at the time. But I think even more than, this passage inviting us to be the flavor of the earth, there's another use for salt that would have been very prevalent and known in Jesus' time, and still in many parts of the world today. Salt as a preservative. Salt keeps the goodness good longer than it would be without it. Things would rot, ice would melt, meat would go bad. I'm a vegetarian, so I don't eat meat anyway. But I like this picture of the people following Jesus being told, you're supposed to preserve goodness. That's the job. There is goodness in the world, and our job is to keep it good, to preserve it, to make it better, to add flavor, yes, but really to make sure the goodness that is here stays really great. I like that. So question number one for you, what can you do to preserve goodness in the world around you? Like, be specific, practical. What can you do? Like, if you're in New York on a crowded subway, you give someone your seat to make their day a little better. You call that person that you've been meaning to talk to because you just haven't talked to them for so long, but you know how much it would mean to them. You pause and have a conversation rather than rush by to your next thing, because you always have another next thing. At least I always have another next thing. But what else? What specifically can you do to preserve goodness? Thing number one. Thing number two in this text is light. You are the light of the world. Now, I really like this one for a lot of reasons. It talks about, city on a hill, high place. That's why we're at the top of the tower, tallest steeple in North America. But I really like this metaphor of you are the light of the world because we're in the season of Epiphany, and Epiphany is all about Christ being revealed, seeing God among us. And typically the spotlight would shine on God, on Jesus. Look, there's Jesus! Yay! Epiphany! But here, we are the light of the world, and what are we shining our light on? We are shining our light on love and justice at work all around us. I think of things like the new Poor People's Campaign that's continuing to emerge in our world today. I think of the sanctuary movements that so many communities and places of worship have taken part in to make sure that those pushed to the margins and too often put in cages are given spaces where they are safe. I think of the individuals who for far too long were pushed from the center simply because of who they are. LGBTQ, a person of color, a woman. And maybe the church can be a place that reorients the center to them. We don't say come back to our center. No. We move to where they are. So light of the world means we shine a light on all these things of love and justice. So question number two, what are you going to shine your light on? What is the love and justice that you see at work, coming to life, embodied around us? Leave a comment with that. And then we can all be like, whoa, that's amazing. And we can all be a part of it too. So I think that's it. While you're pondering what to comment, let's just end with a nice Riverside Bell Tower B-roll segment. Ready? That makes me jump every time. See you next week.